everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. So, fishing. Today we're going to talk a little bit about fishing. I am not an avid fisherman. I used to fish quite a bit when I was younger. We do a lot of bass fishing, a little bit of catfishing, and some bluegill and stuff like that, just in the farm ponds in the Midwest kind of thing. But I'm not somebody who proclaims to be a great fisherman. So I'm gonna throw some stuff out here in the video, and if there are some avid fishermen and you have suggestions for improvements and stuff like that on fishing and recommendations and stuff, I definitely appreciate it if you put put something in the comments below, because I learn from your guys' comments all the time. But what I wanted to just talk about is that for your preps, for your disaster preparedness gear, I think it's a great idea to have fishing gear. And the reason I say that is because fishing is one of the ways to supplement your calories, in a long-term grid down situation. We have a lot of fresh water in our country, a lot of lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, and and even on the coastlines that we would be able to procure food from. Now, a lot of people and the naysayers, the ones that are basically thinking that the world's going to end when people end, and I don't particularly believe that. I don't think that we're going to hunt out all of the species of game. I don't think we're going to fish out all the fish and all that kind of stuff if there is a long-term collapse here, because I think our population is going to be reduced, and I think a lot of people just don't have the skill and the gear and the experience necessary to do extended wilderness living. So for those of us who practice it ahead of time, and for those of us who are prepared, I think that is going to be a viable option, at least for quite a while. And anyway, I've done another video on that if you guys want to see that, kind of talking about what my thoughts are on hunting after SHTF and that kind of thing. But a lot of people have fishing kits in their bug out gear, and I've done several videos on some good fishing kits. The Stanford Outdoor Supply fishing kit was a great one. The Vigilant Trails kit was another good one. There's several good fishing kits on the market that are small and compact in size, and you can put them in your bug out bag, but they don't have a lot of resources in them, and they're not going to sustain you for very long. So if you are somebody who layers your bug out plans and essentially says, in the beginning, I'm going to try to stay in my house where I've got most of my resources. If I'm forced to leave for whatever the situation is, I'm going to try to leave in my vehicle and pack my vehicle with my bug out loadout gear. All the gear that you can possibly carry that you could take with you to be able to sustain yourself as best as possible. This fishing gear that I'm talking about today fits in that bug out loadout gear section. This is probably not stuff that you're going to necessarily take with you in a bug out bag or carry on your back or anything like that, but it would definitely be good to have if you could at all bring it in some way, And so I guess just to start this out, I'll just talk about a few of the things that I've picked up. Now, I don't necessarily think that my kit is complete, and what I know, one of the things that I need to do is I need to do some research on species-specific lures and bait and stuff like that for my area, and I definitely recommend that you guys do that as well. But I've just got some general stuff here, that'll hopefully work. So the first thing is I got some split shot for basically being able to rig up lines and stuff like that. You could probably come up with an alternative, out in the wilderness. You might be able to figure out ways to kind of, maybe kind of flint knap edges in rocks and stuff like that so that you could tie it to a line. But hey, if you could just have some split shot, it'd be a lot easier. I've also got some leads, and this is, I don't remember how many's in it, if it's several hundred or what it is. I'll probably pick up another box of those as well, but just makes it a little easier for attaching the lures and different things like that. I've also got an assortment of small hooks in a few different boxes here, and I picked these up on Amazon. I'll put the links to these in the description below. Just an assortment of sizes. This big box here ranges everywhere from 3 to 12, so not a bad range there. I think that would work in a lot of situations for most fish that you're catching off of a reel in freshwater, probably. I've also got another pack here ranging from 3 to 12, looks like, with treble hooks, and I just spoke about making a treble hook type snare for dogs that are chasing you the other day, if you guys wanted to take a look at that video. But treble hooks are pretty good for putting catfish bait, stuff like that, I think as well. Got an additional spool of line. It's like 1,500 yards of line on one spool. I'll probably grab a couple more spools just to have. Picked up some extra bobbers and stuff as well. Probably some natural alternatives you could use for bobbers. Probably don't necessarily need these, and they do take up a lot of space, but not too bad. And then also grabbed kind of a different. I've combined a couple of these, I think, in one, if I remember right, but an assortment pack of different lures and stuff like that. It's just kind of got a whole different variety of stuff in here. I think I've doubled up the amount on what it was in this one. And then a couple more smaller little lure packs and stuff. I've also got a tackle box to keep it in. A few different fishing rods and stuff like that. And one easy way to pick up a lot of this gear really cheap is to go to the Facebook Marketplace or to Craigslist, and people sell this stuff, especially like coming up, right now, spring cleaning time and stuff like that. People cleaning out their garages, they find this old gear and they get rid of it for next to nothing. I think I got this rod and one of these little lure packs for $3 off of Facebook Marketplace, and it's just a little Zebco rod, but I caught a ton of bass and catfish and stuff on a little Zebco 202 reel when I was a kid, so I'm sure it'll work fine. But the other thing that I wanted to show you here that I picked up recently is a minnow trap. And the thing I like about a minnow trap is you can break this down and you can store it inside of itself. Let me see if I can do this real quick. So you can store it kind of inside itself so it doesn't take up as much room. It's just kind of like the size of a bucket. Or you could put it together like I had it just a minute ago, and you could store stuff inside of it, as you're carrying it. If you wanted to, you could strap it on the outside of a pack. You could just toss it in with your gear in your truck, your bug out, load out gear, whatever the case may be. But this is a great option if you've got a water source in the area we're going to be, for you to catch some live bait, and you can use that bait then to catch larger fish. It's very lightweight. It is a little space intensive, but it can also, this one is got the little ring around it right here, so it's basically just for minnows and very small crawfish. But if you cut this out just a little bit with some some pliers or whatever and made this hole just a little bit bigger, you could also use this for crayfish as well, if you happen to have those in your area. You could even catch snakes with this. A channel that I saw that has done a whole lot of different cool stuff with this, I've been watching him quite a bit recently, and I think he's got just a really good channel, is called Bob Hansler, and I'll try to throw a link down in the description or down here below. He lives down in South Texas. He does a lot of stuff with fishing and creeks and different stuff like that. He's really got a wide variety of good wilderness survival videos, and I've watched a lot of his stuff, and I think he offers some pretty good solid information, so you guys could definitely check him out. Just so happens the guy had a very crazy situation happened to him recently, and I don't really know what the cause of it was. I didn't catch that part, but he recently started to go blind. And so he has and he had been selected to go on like a Discovery Channel wilderness survival show, and then he got the news that he was going to have surgeries on his eyes and all this stuff. And I think he's getting better now, but it's still a long, slow recovery. And he's got a ton of medical bills and everything, so he has a GoFundMe page, and I will try to link that in the picture in the description below. Check out his videos. He offers a lot of value, and he does a great job on his videos. And it's just it's a very unfortunate situation. Losing your sight that's a devastating thing. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to throw this out there for folks who maybe had a fishing kit, but they haven't really branched out into buying a little bit more fishing gear. There's probably, additional things that I could add to my kit that would be important to have. If you have suggestions like that, then, feel free to throw this in the comments below. Anyway, guys, as always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.